Ha ha! What are you going to do, Batman? You can't stop me if you can't see me.
What are you doing?
I'm invisible. Ooh.
No, you're not. I can see you ducking below the camera.
Well, see if I try to do any role-playing with you again to keep the relationship fresh.
Welcome back to another episode of Batman the Animated Recap. Last time, we covered The Cat in the Claw, Part 2, which introduced Catwoman to the series. This time, we're recapping a story about a villain who gives Batman a run for his money at ghosting people. Season 1, Episode 17 of Batman the Animated Series, See No Evil. We open on a windy Gotham evening. Is that more to your liking?
Actually, I've grown quite fond of blustery.
You suck. Anyway, we open on a little girl named Kimberly who is being visited by her very real imaginary friend, who has the voice of someone who probably shouldn't be allowed near playgrounds.
Kimberly? Kimmy.
Kimberly calls the imaginary friend Mojo, and he has brought her a very expensive-looking necklace, with the promise to bring her a pearl necklace in the future.
If this Mojo isn't a kleptomaniac pixie with an eye for jewelry, then I'm getting a strong sense of stranger danger here.
Kimberly tells Mojo that her and her mother are moving soon, which he doesn't seem to take well. Kimberly's mother enters the room and asks who Kimberly is talking to. Kimberly says Mojo, and her mother reacts like any parent would that assumes their child is talking to an actual imaginary friend.
Yes, like any parent who ignores the jewel-encrusted golden heart suddenly hanging around their child's neck.
We transition to the next day at the Gotham Convention Center, where the Gotham Jewelers Association is meeting. I mean, it wouldn't be an episode of Batman the Animated Series if the word Gotham wasn't unnecessarily tacked onto a few places or businesses. We wouldn't want people to forget where they are.
I wonder if places like Metropolis, Star City, Coast City, and Central City have the same problems.
Not every building has the word Gotham tacked onto it.
Yes, a lot of them say Wayne as well.
We see a shifty-looking character enter the convention center and make a beeline for the men's room. While the man changes into something a bit more criminal, a security guard tries to get into the bathroom, resulting in...
Hey! Who locked the bathroom?
Why would he even ask that? Most likely the person who locked it is inside. And even if someone accidentally locked it, if they didn't already inform someone, they're not going to be waiting outside the door to come clean.
Maybe that guard just really has to go. When nature calls, it doesn't like to leave a message.
We see that our mystery guest has a suit that allows him to turn invisible, and apparently things that he's holding as well. I'd love to know the science on that.
If you're already scoffing at that, this episode is not going to be for you.
Oh, come on, I'm not that picky.
I'm new here and I can tell that's a lie.
Well, you know what? I'll prove it, okay? I'm not going to nitpick one more thing in this episode.
Oh, this should be good.
Our invisible criminal exits the bathroom, revealing that the security guard has left, presumably to find another place to do his business. We see that Bruce Wayne is also at the convention center looking at a watch to purchase when this happens.
Was that first tray of goods just lying out in the open with no one watching it?
Note to self, rob the Gotham Convention Center the next time the Jewelers Association is renting it.
The invisible criminal proceeds to steal jewels in such a way that it almost makes the invisible suit pointless.
Holy smoke!
He is pretty bad. If I were going to do it, I'd just turn myself over to the authorities to save Batman the trouble of catching me. Yeah, that's it.
Fine, don't share your methods with me. I'll just have to come up with my own, and you know how much fun that'll be.
When Bruce sees the jewels being stolen, he rushes to the bathroom, resulting in...
I know that many people are being ripped off here, but I feel the real victim of the story is that security guard. Clearly the man has IBS and is just trying to use the loo, but is getting blocked at every turn. He's going to explode.
Well, what happens next certainly doesn't help.
It looks bad, but that man was fine. Sure, he had a broken nose and he soiled himself, but he was otherwise unharmed.
I have a bigger issue at the moment.
Oh, do you?
I mean, no, I don't have a problem with where Bruce was keeping the Batsuit on his person. It doesn't bother me at all.
I'm always wearing the cowl. The points are retractable, and Bruce Wayne's face is a rubber mask, like in the Mission Impossible movies.
Wait a minute. What is that? Some kind of body armor.
Take off the mask.
But where does the cape go? You know what? Never mind, because I'm not nitpicking, okay? So let's just move on. Batman follows the Invisible Crook into a section of the convention center that is under construction. The thief has to run through some conveniently placed wet cement, allowing Batman to get an idea of where they are. Batman then throws paint on the criminal to reveal their form, only for this to happen.
I'm what you'd call a burnout case.
It's killing you, isn't it?
Nope. I'm fine with everything that just happened.
Then, what's wrong with your face? I think he's having a stroke.
Paint doesn't evaporate when heated. Do you know how many things would just be without paint if that's how paint worked? He would just be covered in bubbling, blistering paint. And what the hell were you waiting for? Why didn't you tackle him when you could see him?
I was just as surprised as you that the paint did that. You can't tell me you've never seen a magic trick and then just stared at it in wonder.
Okay, I'll give you that one.
Are you done?
I'm sorry, but something had to be said, okay? Now look, I got it out of my system. I should be fine for the rest of the episode. Hey, what's so funny?
Wait till he sees the car.
What are you talking about? What is he talking about? What car?
Nothing, there's no car. What were you saying before? Does Batsy catch the guy or not?
No, the guy completely obliterates Batman.
He did not. I let him win so he could feel good before I caught him.
I believe you. I don't.
The invisible criminal returns to his home, and we learn that Kimberly is his daughter. He also makes one of the most sinister-sounding declarations I've ever heard on the show.
She's never gonna take you away from me. I won't let her. You hear me? I won't let her.
He definitely sounds evil.
And just what does evil sound like?
It sounds like that guy.
So eloquently explained, thank you.
You're welcome.
The next day, when Kimberly is being dropped off at school, we see her dad outside the place in his car, looking like a creeper. At first, it seems like maybe he's there to grab his daughter, but then... Am I the only one who feels like the mother will never be seen or heard from again?
It does look that way, but no, he just follows her to work at Gothmart.
Okay, maybe one too many things have Gotham on them.
Follows her to work, and then what? Kills her? Embarrasses her? Makes her look crazy? I saw the most recent Invisible Man movie, and it's clear that someone took some cues from this episode.
He has figured out a way to be invisible.
No, nothing like that. He just patiently waits for her break and then forcefully tries to buy her lunch.
Yeah, and the guy's terrible at reading the room.
You don't need that anymore, Helen. When I was still a bum, it made sense, but...
What do you mean, was?
Huh. So he tries to buy her lunch and ask for a second chance. We learn that her name is Helen, and she is not interested in what he's pitching at all. She has a restraining order against him, and when he says he'll give her anything she wants, she replies with...
All I want is for you to disappear.
Be careful what you wish for.
Everyone, seriously, this man is going to murder her.
Yes, but no one will see it. Where's the fun in that?
Over at Wayne Tech Optical Research Laboratories. Okay, that is a mouthful. We're going to have to shorten that up a bit. I'm just going to go with Wayne Tech ORL or Wayne Tech Oral.
No, you're not.
What? Why?
It sounds dirty.
What sounds dirty about it? Bruce visits Oral with Lucius Fox. Sounds fine to me.
I mean, the statement is a bit misleading. There were more people there than just two.
Yeah, Bruce goes to Oral with a bunch of guys is better. But that's not even the whole story. They also go down some lengthy stairs in the scene as well.
Okay, so Bruce goes to Oral with a bunch of guys before they all go down with each other.
You're making me upset. And you know what happens when I get upset.
No bail voice, okay? We take it back, we're moving on.
Ah well, fun while it lasted.
At the lab, Bruce finds out that a scientist was developing some invisible plastic. He was going to make a deal with Wayne Tech before he passed away. The guys at the lab believed that the scientist's assistant, Sam Goodell, was trying to carry on the work. We transition to Goodell's lab, where Bruce has removed his rubber mask and is going full Batman. He finds a report on the plastic that says the project was abandoned. As he's leaving, this happens.
Okay, you, come out of there. I don't know what you think you're doing.
It turns out that Goodell thought Batman was a prowler. When he discovers that he's not, he reveals that he is disposing of the invisible plastic because it becomes toxic after use. And he gives Batman a demonstration of how it works.
How noble! Most corporations would take that to market, hide the toxic side effects, and just pay the families of those affected with non-disclosure agreements included in the payoff.
Say, Crane, how would one form one of these corporations? I'm asking for a friend. I'm asking for a friend. I'm gonna kill so many people.
Sam reveals that some of the plastic has gone missing, and the only other person who would know about it is the original scientist's other assistant, who just happens to be our Invisible Man, Lloyd Ventress.
Lloyd? I'm not gonna lie. That takes a bit of the menace away from him.
Batman tracks down Helen in an attempt to find Lloyd. When he reveals that Lloyd can make himself invisible, it finally hits Helen that Kimberly's imaginary friend is her husband. They rush inside the house to discover that Kimberly is missing, having been taken away by Lloyd moments before. Batman then has a staring contest with a doll.
Mock all you want. That doll saw what happened, and I was gonna get answers.
Lloyd brings Kimberly to an empty drive-in movie theater, and when he tries to get her into a car, her stranger danger senses finally kick in.
I don't know.
Lloyd reveals his face in hopes that it will convince Kimberly to go with him. But bro, come on, okay? If she wasn't going along with you when she thought you were her delightful imaginary friend with a creepy voice, what makes you think revealing yourself to be a strange man with a creepy voice is going to change that?
He's clearly a desperate man who just wants to spend time with his daughter. I wonder if using the suit has affected his judgment. You know, taking a morally questionable individual and pushing him to darker and darker tendencies with each use of it.
That would be interesting to explore.
Don't get your hopes up.
After revealing his face backfires, Lloyd tells Kimberly that he's her father, which also has the opposite effect of what he was hoping.
My daddy? Get away! Mommy says you're not allowed to come near me. She says you're a bad man.
Lloyd tries to grab Kimberly, but Batman intervenes, knocking him into a metal post. Batman then waits for Lloyd to come to and put his invisible mask back on before attempting to shoot him with a tranquilizer. Why didn't you shoot him when you had the element of surprise?
Because, well, you see, because the story needed a climactic action sequence, that's why.
Fair enough. Lloyd gets into his car and pushes a button, resulting in...
Wait for it.
Are you f***ing kidding me? I was willing to go along with Lloyd having the suit. Maybe it was a prototype he nabbed, but it is established by Sam that Lloyd was not the scientific type. He was a gopher, and you expect me to believe that he wrapped his entire car in this plastic like a vinyl wrap over everything, including the tires? And then managed to engineer a system that would deliver the needed power output to the material without frying himself in the process? Also that you could make a, hey, I didn't know Batman could fly joke?
This is uncomfortable, but, I can't look away.
Right? It's like a small child being forced out of a nap and then taking it out on the first person they see.
Feel better?
No. At least tell me the little girl who ran off into the night makes it back to her mother.
Unfortunately, she makes it home just fine.
Okay, you know what? Let's just get through this finale, okay? Batman hops onto Lloyd's invisible car and is driven all over Gotham. Sometimes he appears well above the ground like he's on a car, and other times it looks like he's laying on an invisible skateboard. They eventually wind up on some train tracks, causing this to happen. How did that not derail the train?
You know how they say Superman is more powerful than a locomotive?
Yeah?
Well, the train companies got angry about the comparison and decided to make their locomotives more powerful than the Man of Steel.
Well, okay then. Batman and Lloyd end up on a rooftop where Lloyd proceeds to give Batman a beatdown again.
Still just boosting his confidence, eh?
Yeah, just just waiting for the appropriate time to show him who's boss.
Batman finally throws some shurikens at the water tower on the building, causing water to pour down and reveal Lloyd's silhouette. Nice move.
Yeah, it was okay, I guess.
You guess?
Yeah. In the original script, the Warner brothers and their sister Dot were supposed to emerge from the water tower and help take down Lloyd with some zany slapstick.
What happened?
Someone got the higher-ups to cut the scene.
You're damn right I did. No one gets to be more zany than me. That reminds me. Did I ever release that executive's family? Ah, well.
With Lloyd now somewhat visible, Batman takes charge and delivers one of his classic zingers.
Peekaboo.
Peekaboo?
What can I say? It felt right at the time.
Batman soundly defeats Lloyd, and we transition back to Helen's house, where Kimberly is reporting to someone off-screen that her and her mother are moving, and that even if her dad gets out of jail, he'll never find them. Helen bursts into the room and asks who Kimberly is talking to now, and justifiably so. I mean, she's been stalked by her ex in an invisible suit, paying her daughter nightly visits before kidnapping her. I'd say she's earned the right to be a little jumpy in that department. So, who was Kimberly talking to?
Just Batman, Mommy.
Oh, him again.
Really? It ends with Batman being the creeper? You know what that woman went through. Why not just show up at the front door and say, just checking in, Helen, making sure you and your daughter are going to be all right. I'll be around if you need me. I am the knight, or, whatever it is you say.
I have an image to uphold, and it's not of the friendly neighborhood Batman who shows up with cookies and salutations. Great. Now I want some cookies. Alfred, let's go shopping. I want some bat-shaped snickerdoodles.
Questionable science and a few bits of wonky animation aside, I think this is a pretty good episode. Lloyd is such a mysterious character that we don't really know what he's capable of. I found myself concerned for both Kimberly and Helen constantly throughout the episode. We also get to see Batman doing some out-of-the-box thinking to see his invisible opponent, even if he didn't always capitalize on it right away. What did you think?
Oh, it was fine, though the technology was wasted on a short-sighted criminal pining after his daughter. Put that in the hands of a pro and we'll see how toxic it can be. 4 out of 5 inept convention center security guards. Join us next time when we'll be covering Beware of the Grey Ghost, featuring the original TV Batsy, Adam West. Finally, a little class and sophistication around these parts. Till next time, boys and girls! I think this friendly neighborhood Batsy has a nice ring to it. We can start by having you play yourself at birthday parties.
Yeah, what a great way to make some extra money for a rainy day.
You can get in touch with that inner child you never got to know.
And I've already established you never know when a psycho's gonna try to blow up some kids at a party just because someone insulted them on the news.
Shut up. Just shut up. You had me at extra money.
Thanks for watching, everyone. If you enjoyed this video, please consider giving it a like and a share. Don't forget to subscribe and click that bell icon to be notified when more Batman the Animated Recap episodes go up. And we've got some other cool nostalgic shows on the channel, so stick around. You might find something else that you like.